Should be all focused. I faced it towards the mirror, so now I can actually see what I'm doing. I can see that it's in focus. I'm gonna worry this time. But we got back today. Nothing too fancy, honestly. I'm gonna warm up with some lat pull down, and then we're gonna do pull-ups first. Technically, is like the first working movement, and then I'm gonna swap over for some like, I don't technically know the real term. Pull downs, pull overs, I guess. Like you just pull the bar down. You'll see with the movement. For right now, though, we're just gonna warm up on some pull downs, some lat pull downs. Angles are not gonna be too exciting for back, unfortunately, because there ain't much to work with. I warm up with these first, like with pull downs before pull ups, just cause like going into a pull up, like no warm up at all, it just feels so like stiff for me. It hurts the arms a little bit, and I just noticed that I can do them with more proper form after a warm up. So I'm just gonna warm up first. The setup ain't, it ain't the best, but it's all we got here, so it's kind of what we gotta work with. With these, they're just like, I focus on a big stretch at the top, like make sure I can really feel the lats stretching. Nice and slow on the way up, and just make sure you can at least feel it, get the blood flowing in there. And with this being a warm-up, we're not looking for any fatigue or anything. Not going till, failure. Just making sure this movement is nice and warm. Really the only warm up I do, and typically a set feels good enough. Now pull-ups, I just struggle with pull-ups in general. I feel like pull-ups are pretty difficult to do. If you're a little, like if you're not super light, pull-ups are just, I feel like they're just so hard in general. I used to be able to do around 10. 10 was like normal, but that was 20 pounds ago. So now like 4 has been the max. Hypothetically, I should get to 5 hopefully, because I've been doing pretty good, I feel like, on my pull-ups, training wise, I guess. So we're looking for 5 on this first set. If we can't get it, that's okay. Also, last time I did back, I don't know why I never thought of doing it, but I did like assisted reps with like a band, and I just threw this like over the top and put my foot in this, and like it honestly helped a lot more being able to like push the muscle till failure without not being able to actually do a pull-up. So we'll do some of those as well. Let's see if we can't get 5 on the first set though. Getting over that bar is pretty difficult. Bring this out here for the next one. And coming down from the pull-up and going nice and slow on the way down just gives it such a better stretch. Form wise, I don't really know. Pull-ups are kind of weird with form, I feel like, for me, because I feel like I'm doing them the right way, but at the same time I'm not an expert at them because I haven't really done them as much as other stuff. They're really difficult though, and I wish that they weren't so hard. But room to improve, I guess. Alright, second set. Getting 5 again would be actually pretty sick, but we'll see. Oh, it's the top. It's literally like that final, like, I want to say like the final quarter of the pull-up. It's just so hard to do for me. And the only thing that I know, the only thing that, like, to my knowledge that would help is with, like, the assisted reps. Just being able to crank out more. I feel like the band helps more at the top. I feel like that's the only thing that I can do. Or maybe like negatives, pull up and just slowly go down and just help myself back up. Slowly go down. But other than that, I got no clue. All we're looking for is a nice sick pump in the lats and at least progressing in some way from last lift until now. As long as there's progression in some way, I feel like we're doing something right. But yeah. See, I don't know whether just cut in between each clip or just keep talking and just rambling. Honestly, I might even do some bent over rows. I feel like that's probably necessary. I can't go too heavy though, because I injured myself on squats like a while back, probably over half a year ago. I was trying to squat 250 here, and I went down and it just wasn't coming up. And I felt like a pop in the lower part of my back, and since then the back pain has just been, it's been pretty crazy. And doing bent over rows and stuff has just been, it's been a little bit more difficult. Can't go super heavy on them, which sucks. But, you know, I feel like next set is pretty in due time. I feel like it's about time to add the band, because I know I'm not going to be able to get many more clean reps out of this without sacrificing some technique and stuff. Whew. Those are going to be a lot more fun though, because we get some help, get a little extra rep out of it. Should feel pretty nice. Back day is not one of the favorites, honestly. I used to like it a lot. Back in, no one likes legs. That's just a known fact. Unless you're really good at squats and you can squat like a shit ton of weight. Leg day ain't too fun. Leg extension is pretty fun, I will say. Hamstrings are actually a little fun to work because the pump in a hamstring is pretty crazy. It doesn't really, nothing else feels like it to me, honestly. But chest and arms, the upper body, it's fun to do. But we do need to find a way to love legs, because I feel like if we can find a way to love legs, the growth will be unstoppable. I think it's time for another set. Let's get this out of the way. Those are getting pretty difficult. Oh. Let's see if we can't put this in a different spot. I will say the back is feeling pretty good. And I feel like this is helping a lot more, because if I didn't have this and I just went for another set of pull-ups, you know, my third set on pull-ups, I only got 3. Barely even 3. And if I were to go to another set with that, I probably would have gotten 2, maybe 3 again. That's 4 sets right there. And I just feel like if I go set after set and I'm only getting 2 to 3 reps, I'm still getting reps out. But having this as a little bit like a leverage, I guess, on my end, it definitely helps more being able to get more out of the back and just push yourself until even more failure, I guess. I can just tell by the way my back feels that it's a lot more beneficial than if I would have just stopped on that third set or even done another. Did put my foot on the wall on one of those, so I had to make up for it with those other 2. Feel like that's good enough for back, lats at least, pull-ups. I'll move over to a little bit of a pullover. I feel like pullover is probably the proper word. I do not use a cable for it though, because I do see some people using this for it, and personally I just don't like it. Even with triceps, the rope has never been my favorite. I have started to use it more, but recently just ain't been my favorite. We're gonna move over the pullovers though and do a couple sets of that. The one thing that's unfortunate that I don't have here, that I did enjoy a lot while I was going to the gym, was like the row machine. You sit down and it's literally just like the straight pull row. The closest thing I can get here is like using the bench and being kind of back here, but this pulley being the only thing we have, you're kind of like up and pulling like this way, which yeah, I have seen like the movement with like pull the rope to your face, and it kind of gets like the rear delt and part of the back in there. But I just like being like nice and low down here and getting like the lower part of the back, because that's like the one thing that it's kind of hard to work here without doing like a row or something. But probably we're gonna do 3 to 4 sets of this. I typically do 3 to 4 sets of my designated reps. For me personally, it feels like it's a good amount of volume and stuff, and it just works well. It's like what I've been doing since I started. I just stick to the classic. I was doing push-pull legs, and then I would rest and do push-pull legs. But then I swapped and doing chest, back, arms, and then legs. And it honestly feels like it's just been a lot better. Because like the chest, I can get so much more emphasis on it and put so much more stress and not have to worry about tiring out my triceps before I give them like their actual workout. So I do like the current split that I'm doing a lot more. And it's just basic stuff, very basic movements that seem to be, it's like the bread and butter. It's just what works best. People nowadays tend to overcomplicate a lot of stuff and try and add like a lot of fancy techniques and stuff into things. And I just feel like it takes away from the simplicity of it. Like, it's obviously, even just because the movements are simple doesn't mean the whole process is going to be easy. You know, it's still going to be pretty difficult. These have become one of my favorites for back, because when I first started doing them, I'd feel a lot in my triceps because I wasn't used to pulling straight down. Doing pull down and stuff like this, you know, you're used to this movement. So when you go from here and try and pull down, your arms will want to bend to make it easier. But once I figured that out and got that out of the way, these have become pretty fun. And you feel it, for me, I feel it so much in my lats. Especially coming up and really stretching them out. You want to go up. And I kind of almost lean into it to get more of a stretch, and then as I come down, I raise my head up a little bit, go back down and do it. Let's move this angle and get another set. Also, looking on the back before I walk in here, I can tell everything's going to be in focus, which that's one problem out of the way. I just got to worry about the overheating now, which I got the door open, so hopefully that helps. I honestly don't know how I messed up yesterday not letting it focus properly. I think I was just trying so hard, thinking it was out of focus when it was in focus the whole time, which is a pretty disappointing and embarrassing in my eyes. Being so familiar with my camera, I gotta put quotes around that because clearly I'm not that familiar with it. But I'm also trying to make this one shorter than yesterday's video because it's pretty hard to watch a long raw uncut video. I personally like them. I know other people aren't too big fans of them. I'm trying to keep it on the shorter side because yesterday was like 24-ish, maybe 25 minutes, around there. So that's I feel like that's a good chunky video. They just feel pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Another thing I will say is it's very different lifting out here with no music and just being in complete silence. Because there's really no way to get hype. I have no music to crank up the mood. I kind of just gotta, I don't even know, kind of just focus without actually using anything else to help focus. We'll consider it a good thing that we're not using the music. But it is very different and odd sitting in silence and also talking to myself. Whew. Let's see if we can't go as hard as the last set. Oh my goodness. I did start to feel the triceps kicking in. So I knew I was losing that technique. And it's just, I feel like unless, I don't really know. Personally, I'm not the one to go for like partials and or half reps unless I'm doing like the fly stuff. Like, you know, if I'm pressing and failing like halfway, then, you know, maybe I'll try and keep going for more. But on some other stuff, once you start losing the technique, I just don't really see a point of trying to get out any extra work in there, I guess. If you don't have like if it's not crisp and proper, I'm not saying all my reps were, but once you start feeling other stuff getting involved, and you know your body's cheating to get that rep out, I just don't really see a point to push past that. Kind of conserve the energy for the next set and try and get as much of those milky reps as possible. We got one more of these, and then we're gonna go to I think honestly we'll maybe do some rows. Maybe we'll do single and then a bar. I don't think I'm gonna do lat pull down. I was gonna, but I'm feeling pretty good on these and the pull-ups. So maybe just some rowing stuff, and we can call it quits there. Check the pose. I have not flexed my back, like from the back like this, not one of these, on the camera before. So I'm hoping the lighting and everything, hoping it looks good, but I don't know. Yet to try. Right. Last set for these. Let me get to end with some rows. Yeah. Ooh. Another pretty good set. That felt just as good as the other three. I feel like recently the let's figure out how we're gonna get this set up. I can almost see it in the mirror. I feel like my diet and sleep and training has all been pretty on point lately, because the workouts are feeling a lot better than usual. I think it was just getting over that little hump, because I stopped for a little bit. Probably stopped lifting for a good month and a half. Yeah, probably about right. And week one of getting back into that, not to move at all. But we're getting past that, and it seems like it's getting a lot better. Start out some bent over rows, just do singles. We'll probably go 5. We'll go 5, rotate 5 until we're pretty burned out. 3 sets probably. And then we'll swap to a bar right here. Swap to this. Bust out some bent over rows with the bar. And then we honestly should be pretty good. Not too much, but enough to make it work. Make sure this is, feel like, yeah. The mirror is not looking too promising. We'll back up a little bit. I won't know until I'm putting these together. That looks like it would work. With these, I drop it as low as I possibly can before it touches the floor, and try and get the biggest stretch that I can from the back. Pull it up, and then nice and slow on the way back down. Well, 5 each. Last one. That was pretty good. I'm sweating quite a bit. swell the bench. Whew. It is hot. We're gonna move this. 2 more sets of what we just did. And we're pretty good. Unfortunately, the camera is giving me some overheating warnings. So, we're gonna speed this up. Not actually speed up the process, but attempt to, without losing form or anything. One more. All right, last one. Honestly, for this one, I'm gonna just go. I'm gonna go all out on the right side first, and then go to the left. Call it quits. That was pretty wild. Alrighty. Before me and this poor camera have a stroke at the same time, let's grab this posing situation. Ooh. Alrighty. Ooh. Once again, we are drenched. Alright. See if we can't figure out. Bro, I'm on and off of lat spreads. Sometimes I can do them, Sometimes it just don't be working. Oh, I hope that popped up. All right. Really hope I did that right. Cause sometimes I can't do lat spreads for shit, dude. Something about it coming out. Arms too far forward, maybe. Oh, that looks better. But I can't tell if I see a vein in my chest or not. What? Anyways, the camera has got a heat warning on it, so we got arms tomorrow. Very excited for arms. Arms are very fun. But yeah, time to head inside, wash up. I ate before this, so we ain't gonna be eating until later. But yeah, we'll see y'all tomorrow for arms.